Hello, and welcome back to Creative Differences, the podcast. I'm Dallas, and I hope that Will Smith gets an Oscar, even though I don't care about the Oscars.
I'm Colin, and I gotta say, you didn't come in off the top with the Teddy Perkins voice, so... Okay.
We'll get into that later.
And I'm Demi, and God, I can't wait for Gabby to actually be back. Welcome to another episode of the Creative Differences podcast, your one-stop shop for movie reviews, Throwback Thursdays, Fancast Fridays, and a number of other pop culture-related items. We didn't know what we were doing today. Today we're doing a movie review for King Richard, and I'm going to try and get Colin to tell us how he felt about Tick, Tick, Boom.
Oh, good luck with that. Yes, speaking of King Richard and speaking of Gabby, if you're wondering where she is, Gabby is anti-black, so she decided to skip the review about two black sports icons.
Dallas.
Don't do that.
You can't label everyone on the podcast and off the podcast racist.
I've never labeled Demi racist.
That's fair.
Okay, you know what? Okay.
Yeah, see? Only half. All right, before we get into this episode, please like, share, subscribe, tell your friends.
And understand that none of us are actually racist.
Well, because I have a new niece, and becoming an internet celebrity is the easiest way to be her rich uncle.
It's true.
Shout out, Noah. I love you. You don't know what I'm saying. You're a baby.
But one day she will.
Yeah. And if I actually do become internet famous, she'll hear this and be like, oh my God, I was a motivation.
Speaking of subscribers, somehow, some way, we have finally managed to reach 100 subscribers.
All right, you don't have to say it like that.
That's not how I expect you to come in with that.
Right? Like, oh, somehow, despite like, damn.
Right.
We're great.
Despite the fact that we suck.
No, it's not that. It's just that it's taking so long. But thank you guys to all of you guys who have been subscribing.
Yes, if you are subscribed, thank you very much. If you're not, thank you for nothing. But...
Well, hold on. I know that 70% of you guys are not subscribed. So
yeah, we're looking at analytics.
So subscribe.
Also, this is only based on YouTube because for reasons we won't get into right now, that's where our analytics come from. Anyway, thank you so much. Please subscribe. Get your friends to subscribe. Whatever you think they're into, tell them that this is that.
And of course, Gabby is the only one not here when we finally reach 100 subscribers.
Gabby,
wow,
she don't even go here no more. Gabby's never here.
Oh my God.
No, she's here sometimes. Gabby, I still love you. Apparently you love me and nobody else. I don't know what that's about.
That's exactly what's happened.
I don't understand what happened, but I love you.
Dallas.
Yes.
What did you think about King Richard? Because I didn't do homework at all because I've been busy all weekend.
Exactly. You were busy. It's okay. You're not anti-black. King Richard.
It's on my list of things to watch this week.
Exactly. Because, you love our people. King Richard is directed by Reynaldo Marcus Green, who directed Monsters and Men, and Joe Bell, that Mark Wahlberg movie where his son is gay and I think dead.
What?
Oh, I think I know which one
Both
you're
at
talking
once.
about.
Yes.
Is that the one where he's like doing the road trip thing or whatever?
Yeah, he's like walking and the son is like talking to him.
Yeah, I remember that one.
The movie is written by Zach Balin, who I didn't know who that was, but apparently he's writing Creed 3. So.
Oh, the director also did Top Boy, which I hear nothing but great things about.
I don't know what that is.
It's apparently a very, very good show on, I believe it's on Netflix. My dad tells me about it all the time. I just haven't gotten to it.
All right, Ronaldo. See you out there doing your thing. The movie stars Will Smith, Anjanae Ellis, John Bernthal, Sanaya Sidney, and Demi Singleton.
Hey, shout out to the Demis out here. What? We are rare.
I mean, relatively. I think there are more Demis than Dallases out there. You got Demi Moore.
There's
Demi Singleton. You.
In general, there's not that many.
There's not a lot of Demis.
I've heard of like 5
right.
in my lifetime, not including me.
It's not like your name is Colin or something. IMDb summary.
Gabby.
Yeah, Gabby.
Run up.
Basic,
oh my God.
Basic name.
But you have a football team. So like, in a city.
In a city, yeah.
You have a TV show? You got 2 TV shows.
Unfortunately, it's in Texas. IMDb summary states, a look at how tennis superstars Venus and Serena Williams became who they are after the coaching from their father, Richard Williams. Hence the name, King Richard. All right, so Colin.
Me.
I didn't know a lot about Richard Williams before this.
Outside of Teddy Perkins?
Yeah, so I knew Teddy Perkins brought him up as one of his
for his museum
warped inspirational fathers thing. And obviously, I wasn't there when they were being raised. I just have this movie that they produced. But I don't really see
he should have been in the same category as Joe Jackson.
He's not a Joe Jackson, according to this, at least. And that's part of the reason why I didn't start this with Venus and Serena Williams' father.
Well, you got it in there. I appreciate it.
Yeah, he's a black sports dad, and he's very passionate.
They be like that.
He's not beating these kids. He's not trying to beat the tennis into them. He's not like throwing tennis rackets at their heads.
He's not forcing them to stop having recess or whatever so that they can practice.
He's literally doing the opposite. there are multiple instances in this movie where he repeatedly says, I don't want my girls to get burnt out. I want to let them be kids. And he butts heads with all the coaches in their life because the coaches are like, yo, you got to let them play tennis. You got to let them get in the juniors, blah, 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 blah. And he's looking at all these white tennis parents who are screaming at these children. And he's just thinking, these parents are problematic. They're trouble. I want my kids to be kids. They're going to be great. I know they're going to be great, but they're going to be great how they're going to do it. And I'm not going to force them into anything. He takes them out of practice to go to Disney World.
Yo, that's awesome.
Oh, yo, that's that life right there.
Right.
I got parents like that.
Exactly. So I'm just thinking, how did he end up on Teddy Perkins' list? I don't know. But again, it's a movie.
Well, from what I understand, the media really portrayed him to be
and they show
worse.
that in this too. Right.
Yeah.
You're overbearing and you're blah, 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 making it all about you.
Nah, you're just a black dad.
And he's just talking like, you don't talk about these tennis parents at this tennis club because Venus and Serena are beating all of them. Anyway, so the movie starts. The first line of dialogue basically is, where I grew up, Louisiana, Cedar Grove, tennis was not a game people played. We was too busy running from the Klan.
Oh.
And I thought, oh, okay, this is going to be that kind of movie. I said, okay, so it kind of gives you a feel for
who he is,
what he came up with. He gets beaten up twice in the first half hour.
Dang.
Yeah. It's not a fun movie. It's a lot of heavy stuff. And the first time it happened, sorry, it's hard to keep the beatings in order. He's in the car with all his daughters who just watched him get beat up. He says something like, the world ain't never had no respect for Richard Williams, but they're going to respect y'all. And that's a line from the trailer.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
But he says, I didn't have a dad to protect me, so I want to make sure that I'm there to protect you guys. I was like, man, I like this dude.
Okay,
He's a solid dude.
Love that.
Yeah, it's just the hoodness of their upbringing is very, very on display. After Venus and Serena start to... It's mostly Venus. Okay, so this is mostly the Venus show, but I'll get into that more when we talk about characters. Because at this point, the movie starts when they are 11 and 10.
Uh-huh.
It was mostly focused on the Venus when they were kids.
Interesting.
And Serena was like, I'm the captain now. But,
what?
I don't know. And then a different group of hood niggas approached them.
Oh.
I was thinking, what's this?
Wait, so this is after the second, he's already gotten the 2 beatings?
He's gotten the 2 beatings, but now... Fast forward a little bit, they've gotten some prominence, and Venus is like a hometown hero.
Yeah.
And then the hood niggas pull up, and then Richard is like, oh, get behind
me. Okay.
And they're like, hey, I see what y'all doing out here. You know, don't even sweat it. We good. So I'm thinking, did they just get a hood pass?
I think they did.
Are these the dudes who shot Grimy, nigga? I have questions. But I think it just goes to show, we're proud of what you're doing. You're coming from Compton. You're doing it big.
Even the gangsters.
The gangsters is, they riding for him now, which is cool because later on when John Bernthal's with him, he's this white dude from Florida and a mustache. Oof. And he's walking in behind them at the Compton tennis court, and the hood dudes pull up and they're like, hey, Richard, is this cracking with you?
Oh, yes.
And he's like, I'm sorry, what? I'm just here to play some tennis? But it's great. The movie tried to get me to cry.
I didn't get you?
It didn't get me. I thought they were going to do something that they didn't end up doing, and I was like, if they do this, they're definitely going to get me.
For those of you guys who are new to the podcast, Dallas doesn't cry in movies, so we're just waiting for the right one to come along.
Yes. My eyes did get a little watery during Judas and the Black Messiah.
Okay.
So, there's that. When you say cry during a movie, do the tears have to fall?
Yeah,
or do you just gotta get a little blurry eyed?
No, the tears gotta fall.
At least one or two tears gotta, yeah.
Okay, there's gotta be some gravity to the tears.
Yeah, because there's a different, right? That's why people say like they welled up, right? But that doesn't imply that's not the same.
Tearing up and welling up is not the same.
Yeah, crying is they gotta fall.
Your eyeballs jiggling, as Tony Baker would say.
What?
But okay, cool.
You need at least one tear to fall.
Right. Yeah. I ain't shed a thug tear yet, but this one almost got me. My eyeballs jiggled a little bit.
No.
So the scene in the trailer, the first trailer, when everybody was like, "What's this voice that Will Smith is doing?" When he came in, everybody okay? Because the cops are there.
Yeah.
He has a reputation of being a tough father, and he has a nosy ass neighbor across the street, some light skinned lady. She's annoying, and he does the whole, "You want to say we hard on these kids? That's fine, cause we are, but we gonna keep them off these streets." So he gives that speech, and one of the things he says is that what you're never gonna say. I don't want to do the voice because it kind of undermines it. What you're never gonna say is that you had to blow my kids' brains out in the streets because they were running around being hoodlums or doing drugs and blah, blah, blah. Basically, I don't want my kids to be out in the streets getting killed by the cops or into just street stuff in general.
Yeah.
And they're showing all his daughters, and they show Tundi. Tundi's the oldest.
Okay.
In real life, Tundi was shot in a drive-by in Compton.
Ooh.
So when he says that and then they show her, it just kind of hit in a way I wasn't expecting.
Ooh.
So I was like, oh, Tundi. And then everything got blurry. I was like, no, you're not going to make me cry. HBO Max, you're not going to make me cry sitting on my couch.
Yes, they are. They're going to do their best.
I was thinking if they go into her passing away in the movie, I'm going to fold like laundry. Rest in peace to Tundi. If they do the sequel, I'm weeping. One thing I did know, besides Teddy Perkins, is about that clip that goes around of him yelling at that white interviewer. And I love it. Colin, have you seen that clip?
I don't think so.
I'm going to send it to you later.
Yeah.
Okay,
great.
It's in the movie, and they do it basically verbatim.
Mm.
You know, Venus is prominent now.
Yeah.
And she's 14. And the interviewer is bringing, some white boy. He's bringing up another tennis player.
Okay.
I'm like, oh, she's one of the best in the world.
This other person.
Yeah. Do you think you can beat her? And Venus says, I know I can beat her.
Hell yeah.
Confidently, right?
Okay, Venus.
She's like, I'm about that.
Okay.
This is what I do. Y'all know what I do. I'm Bass Reeves out here. Sorry, I got a little off the rails. And then the interviewer says, like, you say it so confidently.
Yeah, because she knows who she is.
Why? And he just starts questioning, but you haven't played a game and such and such and such and such.
What?
And Richard steps in. He said, I'm sorry, cut it. And I'm going to tell you why. And then the dude says, Richard, we can't keep interrupting, blah, 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 blah. And he says, you got to realize you're dealing with the image of a 14-year-old kid.
Mm.
Like, this is a child.
Mm-hmm.
And she's a little black girl. And she has confidence. And you're not going to ruin that for her.
Mm.
And he gets in dude's face. And he's like, she's going to be playing when your old ass and me is in the grave.
Ooh.
And he's just like, yeah, she answered with confidence, leave that alone. And I paused the movie because I remember that clip. And I had to go watch the clip. And they did it so well. Will. Give him that Oscar.
He might be getting it. Sounds like he might be getting it.
Right. And, you know, he's not perfect. They definitely go into that as well. He's very stubborn. He's an old black dude from Louisiana, like hardened by life. He's hard on these kids because we are. You know, it's his job. But yeah, acting wise, everyone's great. Will Smith is great, as always. I haven't listened to a lot of the real Richard Williams speak, but so I've never wondered where Bugs Bunny's accent comes from before. But there's certain words that Richard says, like work, he says wake, and hurt, he says hate, and he sounds like Bugs Bunny. I don't think Bugs Bunny has a Louisiana accent, but it's just certain words that just, and he says work a lot, because, you know, we got to get to wait.
Yeah.
He does it all the time, and it was distracting, but it's fine. If that's how we talk, that's how we talk. Oh, I didn't even talk about his wife, Brandy. I think her name is Oracene. I think it's her birth name, but they call her Brandy. That's sister
that
girl.
birth name slaps.
Yeah, a.k.a. Anjani Ellis.
Yes, Anjani Ellis.
We love
Hippolyta
her.
Freeman.
Yes, Hippolyta Freeman.
Oh, is that who that is? Cool.
She's quick to call out everyone, including and especially Richard, because he be popping off sometimes. But my favorite thing that she does is after light-skinned lady calls the cops on them, Brandy walks out the door, and Richard's like, where you going? She says, I'll be right back. And she walks over, and she knocks on the door. Bang, 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 bang. And she's like, hey, I'm going to call her Betty. I don't know her name. Hey, light-skinned lady. She's like, hey. She's like, I've never been here before. She's like, yeah, it's a shame. And she says, I know you know how hard it is to raise a daughter. Presumably, she has a little light-skinned daughter in there somewhere.
Okay. Presumably.
And then she says, I have 5 of them. 5. And then she just looks at her, and she says, don't make me come over here again.
Ooh.
And then she walks back across the lawn and goes home.
Ooh.
I was like, yo, that's so gangster. I love Anjanae Ellis, and I'm glad they got her for this. Sanaya Sidney and Demi Singleton are great as Venus and Serena, respectively. Like I said, it's more of a Venus Williams show.
Huh.
They're trying to get anybody to coach them.
Okay.
You know, anybody who's good at coaching.
Okay.
And they get some white dude who coached McEnroe or whatever. But the Williams family has no money.
Okay.
So their thing is, we need this for free.
Ooh.
And they come home.
That's a tough sell.
And the girls are like, we got to coach, we got to coach, we got to coach. And Brandy says, he's going to coach both of them for free. And then Richard says, he can only do one for free.
Oh.
Yes, he's going to coach Venus. Venus is older. And at that point, maybe she was better. I don't know.
Okay.
So Venus gets on the fast track to stardom.
Oh.
Venus gets coached first. Then she gets coached by John Bernthal.
Venus was the, I would say, more popular one back when we were younger. Because, she was the one who was more in the public eye. Serena, I feel like, is more recently the Williams sister that gets all the attention.
Right. If you look at their stats now, Serena is the more decorated champion. She's won more of this, blah, 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 blah. I don't watch tennis, so I'm not inviting any debate as to who's better.
Yeah, I don't watch tennis.
I'm going to hypothesize that it's Serena because I looked up Wikipedia stats. If I'm wrong, I don't care. I don't watch tennis.
I just remember being a kid, and even though I didn't watch tennis, wasn't interested in tennis, I mean, we all knew who Venus and Serena were.
Exactly.
And I'm sure that I had read books about Venus and Serena at that age. You know?
They
were the only
athletes ever.
Yeah, they were 2 of the best athletes ever, but also they were like the only 2 black girls playing tennis.
Yeah. Shout out to Naomi Osaka. She gets a movie that's gonna be dope too. So Sanaya steals the show. because she's Venus. She gets to do more. And she's so cute and wholesome. You just want to protect her at all costs. She has a smile. And she has little like barrettes in her hair. She just seems so sweet. Like, I want to play tennis. I'm going to beat y'all because I'm better than you, but, no hard feelings. And then John Bernthal, he's always great at everything. He plays a coach named Rick Macy, and he has a nice rapport with Venus as her coach. He wants the best for her, and he wants her to do tournaments and stuff. Richard is like, nah, let them be kids. I'm not going to have them burnt out like these white girls over here getting arrested with crack in their pocket.
I was going to say, that's very specific.
It is very specific. It's a scene from the movie. And and Rick, John Bernthal Macy, is just like, yo, man, I'm a tennis coach. Let me coach tennis. And Venus is like, I want to be in the tournament. I want to do this. It's a good movie. It's not like Black Pain in the way that most of Ava DuVernay's stuff is Black Pain. And I bring her up because I famously have only seen one thing that she's done because I couldn't watch Selma. I couldn't watch When They See Us. I haven't watched 13th yet, but I know it's going to make me mad when I do.
And
what is the one thing you have seen?
I'll talk to you about that in a second.
Cool.
And I haven't watched Wrinkle in Time.
That's not Black Pain.
That's true. That's like Black Girl Magic.
Also, Queen Sugar. It's great.
What was that?
That's the TV show that she created.
Oh.
And it's
about
been
like
on
black farmers, I think.
Yeah.
Okay.
It's going into its 7th and final season.
You say farmers, they're not like slaves, are they?
No, they're farmers.
They're farmers.
Okay, cool.
They're
cool.
like
they own a farm.
contemporary
Oh,
farmers.
good.
farm
Nice.
things.
Cool. Maybe I'll check that out. But
It's on Hulu. I've been
Nice.
enjoying it.
Cool. What was I talking about? Black Pain.
Black
yes.
Pain.
So they're a black family. This is more black excellence than Black Pain. They talk about pain. There's pain in it because they're grimy niggas in Compton beating up tennis dads. But it's like the movie's more about their triumph than their sorrow, which I love. Yeah, I recommend it. If you're into biopics, sports dramas, stories of black excellence, or any kind of combination of those. If you're not anti-black.
You always got to slip that one in there, don't you?
Yeah, it's very good. Shout out to everybody involved. It's one of those movies that I watch and I think, that was very good. I don't know if I'll ever watch it again.
Mm-hmm.
As much as it's not just a bunch of trauma, it gets kind of heavy. But it's good. I like it.
Hey, Colin.
Me.
Just real quick.
What?
Real quick.
Uh-huh.
Did you like Tick, Tick, Boom?
Yes, I did. Very much. I loved it. Thought it was fucking great. A little bit too relatable, which was upsetting. It slaps.
This is the musical about the white man that made musicals?
The man who created Rent.
Yes. That is exactly what it is. Yeah.
This is his first musical that he ever wrote, I think, actually.
Well, no.
No, not the first
It's
musical
not
he
the
ever
first he
wrote.
wrote.
It was the first one that made it to stage?
Yeah, because a lot of the movie is about the first musical he wrote, because that's the one he's trying to get off the ground.
Yes.
But then he ends up getting Tick, Tick, Boom off the ground, and then Rent, and then he dies.
Yeah. That's also on my watch list for this week.
I want you to watch it. I think you would really like it.
Yeah, I mean, I love Rent, so I'm very interested to watch it. Also, Vanessa Hudgens is she's doing the song "Come to Your Senses."
It's not just her, which is really cool.
Oh, interesting.
It's her and Alexandra Shipp doing it at the same time.
Okay, interesting.
Works really well.
Because I know that the play is only 3 characters, I believe.
What?
Oh, wow.
If I'm remembering correctly, because I've seen.
Do you know what who the 3 characters are? I mean, Jonathan, duh, but like
I can look it up real quick.
I would assume Jonathan and Susan, and like, but who's the other person? Because there are a bunch of people in that.
Yeah, I think it's only a 3-person show.
Wow.
And I know this
interesting.
because Sierra Renee did a rendition of Tick, Tick, Boom, and I freaking love her rendition of "Come to Your Senses." It's the only version I've ever heard, but like, dear God, she's so good at it.
So this movie is based on a play.
Yes.
And the play is autobiographical?
Yes.
So the movie's like a biopic.
Yes.
Okay.
Well, it's interesting because like I don't know, because I've never seen Tick, Tick, Boom the play, how much of this is the play and how much of this is just a story about his life. Like, it starts with footage of the actual dude, and then it cuts into Andrew Garfield doing Andrew Garfield things, and at the end there's a narration about Jonathan Larson. Like, oh, Tick, Tick, Boom happened, and then Rent happened, and he died right before Rent premiered. So it's like, I don't know how much of what I'm seeing is the play and how much is just about Jonathan Larson.
All right.
I don't know if you would rock with it. You don't seem to rock with many musicals. But
So I'm looking at something called Broadway in Chicago, and it says 14 songs, 10 characters, 3 actors in a band.
Okay. So they just play a variety of roles.
Yes.
Okay.
Which is why I was surprised that there were so many actors in this movie, because I was like, wait, I'm used to there only being 3 actors.
Yeah, it sounds like they broke up the roles.
Like I said, I know that Sierra Renee did like a workshop or something of it, and I heard her sing "Come to Your Senses." And then when I found out Vanessa Hudgens was singing it, I was like, does Vanessa have the voice to do this song? But she sounds good in the clip that I heard of hers.
Yeah.
I say this as somebody who is a Vanessa Hudgens fan. I own both of her albums, so this is not me like trying to like diss her or anything like that. I saw her live doing Rent. Like, I'm a big Vanessa Hudgens fan, so Ciara Renee's range is very different than Vanessa Hudgens' range.
I mean, I think it works. It's interesting because that's the song that probably didn't hit for me as much as the others, even though that's like the song of Tick Tick Boom. Like, it was cool,
It's a very
but
good song.
it just didn't hit for me this way some of them did. But I think she and Alexandra Shipp did a really good job with it.
I'm interested in seeing it.
Yeah, I would be very interested to know your thoughts on it because I think you would like it a lot.
That is Colin's review on Tick Tick Boom. Guys, can you believe it? I actually got him to give like an actual review.
I guess I should do
kind
the
of
thing.
finesse the review out of him.
Because I should do the thing that Dallas does, which is that, you know, if you like musicals, you'd probably, well, yes, but it's also like Tick Tick Boom, it's Jonathan Larson, so it shares a lot of DNA with Rent. So it's like not just if you like musicals, but if you like more contemporary musicals,
Nice.
I think Tick Tick Boom would work. If you're going for like,
West Side Story.
right, if you're more in the West Side Story stuff, this might not do it for
Tune in a couple of weeks and that'll be a review that we're doing. Anyway,
Yeah.
what you been
White
watching?
Side Story. Yes. Do you have something? I have something.
I do have something.
Cool, Colin. I bet you don't.
you. No.
Speaking of Ava DuVernay and black sports people,
Oh, you watched that.
I watched Colin in Black and White.
Woo.
Yes, it's created by Ava DuVernay, known for all that stuff we talked about, and Colin Kaepernick, known for calling white people out on their nonsense. The show stars Colin Kaepernick, Jaden Michael, Nick Offerman, and Mary Louise Parker. And the summary states, this drama series from Colin Kaepernick and Ava DuVernay explores Kaepernick's high school years and the experiences that led him to become an activist. This is an interesting show because half of it is real-life Colin Kaepernick in his dope-ass black suit and his dope-ass afro, talking to the audience and giving kind of history lessons.
Okay.
This is Allen Iverson, and this is how he was treated in the NBA because he had tattoos and wore braids.
Okay.
And he does that
Okay.
throughout the show. Narratively, the show is a coming-of-age story about Colin Kaepernick
Huh.
when he was, growing up with his white parents. And it's cool because all the episodes have a deeper meaning. They do stuff that you would typically do on shows, like, oh, Colin has a crush.
Okay.
In high school, it's the crush episode.
Uh-huh.
But in this one, it's used to examine how people are conditioned to view whiteness as a standard of beauty.
Okay.
So we don't just get Colin has a girl he likes. It's Colin has a crush on a black girl named Crystal, but there's some white girl named Haley who's jocking him. And his coon-ass friend is like, oh, go with Haley. She's so cute. And Crystal is so black. Dumbass Eddie. But also, Crystal's aunt is played by Paula J. Parker,
Oh.
Trudy from Proud Family.
Yep.
And I love her. She's great.
She's fantastic.
And then, there's an episode about Colin wanting to change his hair, which is a normal coming-of-age thing. I don't like my hair. I want to do something with it. But in this show, it's a deep dive into anti-blackness.
Yeah, I was
and
gonna say that's such a black.
people saying, oh, you look like a
kid
thug because
thing.
you have braids. Blah, 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 blah.
I feel like Ava probably did a great job with that storyline because A Wrinkle in Time has a very similar storyline.
Right. And
Very subtle, but it's in there.
yeah. And this show is not subtle, but I have gone on record saying that if what you're addressing is an issue that isn't subtle, it doesn't need to be handled with subtlety. Like, people aren't subtle in their racism or their aggressions.
It's
So
also
we don't need to
like
be subtle when we call them out for it.
you can be subtle in sometimes, and then you don't have to be subtle in other times. And Ava DuVernay is the type of person who doesn't do subtle when she's doing this like nonfiction work.
Right.
So it's like that's just not her. That's just not what she does. So it's like you want subtlety, you can find it elsewhere.
Yeah.
But this is kind of more nonfiction, so she's gonna go harder.
Right. The same way we're going to get the subtlety. Jaden Michael does a great job as Colin Kaepernick. When he's supposed to be 14, the show goes over, I think, all of his high school years, maybe.
Okay.
So when he's supposed to be 14, he has a very innocent, softness to him. Over the course of the show, he kind of comes into his capness. Like, he even starts using Colin Kaepernick's vocal inflection in a lot of his line delivery. I don't know if you've heard Colin Kaepernick speak, but it's very...
Not much.
You got to get the white man's seal of approval. Like,
Ooh, okay.
I don't know if he just did that for the show or if that's how he talks all the time. If it is, it sounds exhausting. But, it hits. His parents kind of suck, and it made me wonder, Colin Kaepernick, if you're listening, I know you're not, what is your relationship like with your parents in real life? They're both white. That's fine. I love white people. But shut up, Colin. They're good at the parenting stuff. Oh, you didn't make the team. We're here to support you.
Okay.
You have a tournament. We're going to drive you there. We're very supportive.
Okay.
Everything about him being a little black boy, they are trash. They missed the mark in a way that I'm going to contradict myself a little bit. There's some things that I think, could this have been a little more subtle? Because I feel like you are pushing the point to the extent that maybe these people weren't like this.
Okay.
Because microaggressions happen to Colin in front of his parents repeatedly. And they either don't do anything or they don't see it somehow.
What?
And I'm just thinking, you've been raising this black boy for let's say a decade and a half at this point,
Uh-huh.
and you never got any better at raising a black son. I just like when he dates the black girl, Crystal, his mom says to his dad, maybe this is a phase. She tries to get him to date her white
The mom
friends,
says this?
kids. Yeah.
Ew.
Like, your son is black.
What do also like what phase is usually that's the term used for like alternate sexualities, not
He's dating a black girl.
you don't like what?
He's a black kid. Oh.
Even if he wasn't, like what how does it what?
Right. And then there's I'm gonna get out of here soon because I've run past my time. But I just have to I was watching it. I just had to get this off. There's an episode where they have a lot of tournaments and they keep going to different hotels.
Okay.
He plays baseball. With his baseball team.
Okay.
He was a multi-sport athlete.
Cool.
And everywhere they go, and this is where I was kind of hoping for some subtlety because I was just getting exhausted.
Yeah.
Everywhere they go, there's a microaggression. Every different hotel.
No.
He asks his parents.
This is all in one episode?
Yes.
How long are the episodes?
About half an hour.
Oh God, that's a lot to pack in.
He asks his parents for $1
Okay.
because he's thirsty. Hey, mom, I want to get some water.
Okay.
Hotel lady walks up, jabs him in the shoulder.
What?
Excuse me, sir, can I help you? Turns to his mom. Is this man bothering you? Mom says, no, it's fine.
That's it?
Not if you don't get your ass away from my son.
She touched him. Like that's
And stuff like that happens so much.
Yeah, that sounds like
who gave these people
almost comically exaggerated.
That's the thing. And I need to see him talk about his actual parents. Because they might have been like that. Because he made the show. And this is how he chose to depict these people. His mom calls him a thug. She says he looks like a thug. Because he has braids.
No.
And the baseball coaches are like,
His
this boy
mom
has braids.
says it?
I don't understand how he can play baseball with braids. What's up with his hair?
Aren't they wearing like caps
It's
or
the
stuff
dumbest
anyway?
thing in the world. And he's like, why do I need to change my hair? And she was like, because you look like a thug. I do not like his parents.
See, I feel like part of me wants to watch this show, but then the rest of me is just weirded out by the name.
I just want you to know if you missed this episode, you would definitely be calling them black and white on Twitter. Because it's just, yeah.
Yeah.
His parents are trash, but...
At least on the show.
Exactly. On the show, his parents are trash. Which makes me think, are they trash? Because you made the show, Colin. Like, Venus and Serena made a movie about their dad, and he's stubborn, but he's a loving, supportive father.
Yeah.
And then Colin Kaepernick made a show.
Yeah, like presumably he had veto power on how things were depicted from his actual life. So if that's
right, you gotta be like, hey, Ava, my parents weren't this bad. But he was like, nah, make them worse. But yeah, the soundtrack slaps. The show starts with DNA by Kendrick Lamar, and I knew I was gonna love it. They play I Am Not My Hair by India Arie in the episode about the hair, which is perfect because that's what the song is made for. Also, I like having a show again having a Netflix show that made me pull out Shazam each time the credits played. I miss that because they cancel everything else. But yeah, I recommend this if you're interested in Colin Kaepernick and his story, and you can tolerate watching hours of microaggressions. But yeah, good show.
Devin, my younger brother, has been watching the show. I guess they've been watching it in his advisory class.
Ooh,
interesting.
All right.
Where you go to school?
All right, kids.
I'll tell you after the podcast. I'm not gonna say it.
Fair.
Still though,
I like that.
Yeah.
But yeah, they're showing it to him in his advisory class, and my mom was watching it the other day, and he was like, "Oh." He was like, "Can I watch it with you?" I don't know why I made my voice higher. He doesn't sound like a child anymore.
That's one thing I've been hearing a lot. People are saying you need to show this to kids because it's a coming of age show.
Yeah.
So people who are around Devin's age.
And he'll be 13 in a couple of weeks.
So high school and late middle school age kids should probably see this because it is, like I said, not subtle. It's very on the nose, but it's going to tell you, hey, this is kind of how you might be perceived or you might have to deal with some, especially if you're a young black athlete. It's kind of like Ned's Declassified School Survival Guide, but for racism. Colin's Declassified Racism Survival Guide.
It does look like they exaggerated though a lot about the parents on the show. Because I'm reading a quote from him and it sounds like they weren't as bad as what you're describing.
Thank the Lord.
What have I been watching? Dexter is back, guys.
Dexter is back.
Dexter New Blood, and boy. I'm so happy. I gotta be honest here. Out of all the shows that I've watched this year, I did not anticipate that Dexter would be the one that had the moment that got me the most hyped up.
Interesting.
The first episode was so well done. So I just finished rewatching the first 4 seasons, which are the best seasons of Dexter. You could probably not watch the last 4 seasons if you really wanted to.
There were 8 seasons.
Oh, what?
Yeah, there were 8 seasons.
Oh man,
I thought this was gonna be season 5. Yeah, I was like,
dang, that was going in. All right.
No. There were 8 seasons of Dexter. It was actually to the point I was watching it. I think Dexter gets into a car accident. Not the new show, the old one. And they asked him, who's the president? And he said Barack Obama. And I was like, this show feels so old. And yet the answer is Barack Obama.
Oh, easy.
It's crazy because the new show, looks different and it feels different, but it has that same very engaging element that was somewhat missing in those last 4 seasons. I say as somebody who loves the first 4 seasons, thinks the 5th season is cool. The 6th season is not great at all. And the last 2 seasons, I enjoyed the last 2 seasons. I'm not sure if it's because of the story so much as it is the dynamic between Dexter and Hannah McKay. As I was saying, though, this new season of Dexter, super dope. So excited about Dexter being back. It's from the people who did the original first 4 seasons of the show, which is probably why it's so good. And I didn't have as much of a problem with the ending of the original series as everybody else did, but I am curious as to how they are going to end this. There's only 2 episodes so far. Well, 3 when this episode releases. Okay. And I'm just having such a fun time having Dexter back and being socially awkward and like, because he doesn't understand human.
He's had 8 seasons. How does he not by this point?
Because he doesn't feel those things. He doesn't have.
He's a psychopath.
He's like a psychopath. Like, he doesn't feel those things. Like, he understands human relationships and interaction to the point of being able to pretend how to do them. And even then, sometimes he doesn't do them well.
Right.
That's always fun with this show. And it's also really fun trying to see how Dexter is going to get away with the things that he's done. In the new series, he hasn't killed anyone since the original show.
Oh, that's good. Good for him.
I mean, that doesn't last.
Oh, well.
Which was exciting.
Okay.
So
just milestones,
you know. For anybody who doesn't watch Dexter, he has this, I guess you could say, his conscience. In the original series, it was his father.
Okay.
And it's because his father taught him his code. Because he has a code of ethics.
Right. Only kill killers?
Yes. Only kill serial killers. This time around, in the new series, his father is no longer his conscience. It's his sister. And oh my gosh, she keeps roasting this man, and it's amazing. Oh, it's so good. I'm glad that Jennifer Carpenter's back. Michael C. Hall is killing it as a Dexter. He was always great as Dexter. But yeah, Dexter New Blood, it's back. It's on Showtime. It's awesome. If you are a Dexter fan, I highly suggest checking it out. Even if you're not a Dexter fan, I still highly suggest checking it out because Dexter is a lot of fun if you're into that sort of thing.
Murder?
Yeah. I'm not into murder. So.
Yeah, that's the thing. It's like, what do you mean by that sort of thing? Like crime shows?
Yeah. Yes, he's not a cop this time, though. So
psychological.
Yeah, psychological thriller.
Thrillerish.
There's fun in it's not a mystery, but there's fun in him trying to get away with these things. And in the irony of certain things. So, like, he's not a cop on this show. He was in the original show. He wasn't a cop. He was a forensic analyst. He did blood splatter. But
right. I remember that.
Yeah, but on the new show, he is not related to cops at all, except for the fact that he's dating one. So,
A.K.A. Dexter. It's funny because
Well, no. A.K.A. except this one.
Yeah, it's funny because we're in a time where shows about cops are looked at with side eye to the point like Brooklyn Nine-Nine just ended and they had to redo their whole season to address how cops are bad. And now Dexter doesn't work with cops anymore. So I'm just picturing Showtime in a pitch meeting like, all right, he could be a serial killer, but I draw the line at police.
You can't make him a cop again.
You catch as many bodies as you want, but he's not going to be no cop out here. We got to have some decency. Got to make people like this guy.
But yeah, that's what we've been watching, guys. News.
Yes, the news.
Oh boy.
We got trailers for you.
We got so many trailers. So many trailers.
Yeah.
Let's start with the one that's going to take us forever to talk about.
Hop aboard the trailer train. I'm working on like an alliterative name for the trailer train.
Trailer train is a good one.
I got trailer train, trailer tracking.
Ooh.
Yeah. We'll workshop it off mic.
Yeah.
But yeah, for now, hop aboard the trailer train.
Yeah.
Spider-Man, No Way Home. We have another trailer.
Oh, God.
And they've given us more of the plot.
Yeah.
And more of the characters.
Yeah. It's another 3-minute trailer.
Dude, it looks cool. Sony is going to give up all their plot details when it comes to Spider-Man. This
Please
is what
don't.
they do. I wish they would stop because I almost didn't watch this one.
Yeah.
Because you guys know Kayla doesn't watch trailers anymore. She's like, if I want to see the movie, I'm not going to watch the trailer.
Chaz
y'all
is
going
like
to tell
that.
me everything. Right. And I thought I'd do a podcast where we talk about trailers. I might as well check it out.
Yeet.
And I enjoy watching trailers.
I mean, I would have been understanding if you didn't. I didn't watch the Endgame trailer, so.
Right. You know some more. They got Sandman. Remember that sand in the poster?
Sand.
It's Sandman. Surprise, surprise. But it does look cool. Jamie Foxx is not blue anymore.
Yo, his
He's black
fit is
again.
dope.
Yeah, he looks cool.
They even gave him the star.
They did the star thing, and it doesn't look goofy. I like that.
Lizard's there.
Was Lizard there?
Yeah.
Did you not?
Lizard?
Oh, right. He's the one who was jumping
Yeah.
and got hit by nothing in the Brazilian.
You're looking at
whole-
Electro.
Right,
I get it.
right.
It's okay.
Yeah, I was looking at all the sand and the electricity and everything.
Green Goblin.
Yeah, Gabi's back looking like Gabi.
Doc Ock. The
Octo Octavius.
what I'm calling the Sinister Squad, because it doesn't look like there's a Sinister Six.
Well, wouldn't that involve people who are in jail currently?
No.
I mean, it's one of those things. Comic book rosters interchange based on, who's dead, who's in jail, who we got. You just need 6 people.
I'm just saying there's not 6. So now there's just a squad.
Are there 5 of them?
Yeah, there's 5.
They might get a 6th one.
It's a surprise.
Yeah.
Maybe.
They're coming. I can't stop them. Who is it?
Paul Giamatti
Vulture.
shows up out of nowhere
Oh my gosh.
as Paul Giamatti.
Just Paul Giamatti
Yeah.
from Big Fat Liar.
Oh my gosh, that's amazing.
It's so funny. I see why people are bothered by certain things in comic book movies. Because I notice all these things. None of them bother me.
Yeah.
But man, there's so much of this movie that's just, hey, remember that? Remember when Gwen Stacy died? Look at Zendaya. Look how she's falling.
I mean, MJ also did it in the OG Spider-Man movies.
They love
too.
throwing abroad off of something in Spider-Man movies. They're going to throw you.
Off a high building.
Right. Zendaya, you ready to fall? But yeah, these niggas better not kill Zendaya.
Well, also, is Ned going to make it? Because Ned was hanging on for dear life onto that.
Don't kill Ned.
People are already starting to theorize that Ned going to die in this one.
Don't kill Ned. Not Ned.
Something that might happen that'll lead him to be Hobgoblin.
Right.
The thing about this movie is like the plot feels like Into the Spider-Verse, but less interesting. Basically, yeah, this movie just feels to me like it's built on nostalgia and very little else. And I guess that's fine. I don't know. It just doesn't do that much for me because it's like, yeah, these movies are fine. But I feel like if this is Tom Holland's trilogy, I don't think it's a very good representation of Spider-Man. Like, putting him at the fore of everything. Because either he's an Iron Man shadow, or he's a vehicle for nostalgia for the other Spider-Man.
Yeah.
I still disagree with the Iron Man complaint that everybody makes. Like, I understand it, but I also don't agree with it. Because those stories are still about Peter Parker, period. Even if the villains are created by Iron Man, those stories are still about Peter Parker trying to be either Spider-Man or Peter Parker, which is what this movie also seems to be about.
Yeah.
It's just they're using different plot devices in order to tell them. And the thing is with the marketing of this movie, the marketing feels very nostalgia-based.
Oh, yeah.
But we have no idea what we're actually going to get when we actually sit down in the theater to watch the movie.
I feel like we have to get a fair bit of...
We're going to get a lot of nostalgia for sure.
Yeah, because if...
But if you can make the story work for it...
Right, and I think it will, but if there's something else that you're trying to do that you just haven't showed us yet, you're trying to do a lot.
So much.
And that could get real messy. You got all these people coming in. Presumably you have 2 more Spider-Men coming in.
I feel like this trailer almost confirms the fact that we're getting those 2 Spider-Men.
So if you want to do all that and then you have something else, let's make it a personal story about Peter. Like, this ain't that one. This is not the time for him to get his personal story because we just have so much to do.
They said Endgame, but make it Spider-Man.
Exactly. I agree with both of you. I do think that the first 2 movies are definitely, they're Peter's story. I am a little irked with how they decided to make the villain so Tony Stark focused.
Yeah.
Just as a comic book nerd, I don't want Mysterio to be a dude who's mad at Tony Stark.
Yeah.
I want him to be Spider-Man's villain.
I totally get that.
Right.
It's the Spider-Man is Iron Man's sidekick thing that I'm just like, that's not even accurate.
Which,
it's not
I get
that
how they got
he's
that.
Iron Man's sidekick, it's that who he is as a hero is primarily due to Iron Man. In his suits, in what he does, he's hanging out with Happy, he's constantly calling Happy. It feels like he is tied to Iron Man and doesn't have a lot in his own movies to stand on his own. Like, if you took Iron Man out of it and he didn't have any of the stuff from Tony, he wouldn't be Spider-Man.
That's not true, though, because he was a hero for 6 months before him. He would be Spider-Man.
Which we haven't seen. Why haven't we seen that? That's my thing, is what we've been presented.
Well, we're about to be presented that.
Yeah, I feel like they should have started with that.
Well, they didn't want to start with that, though, because we've already seen it twice before in the past almost 10 years.
That, to me, is a more interesting Spider-Man, and what we've gotten instead is a Spider-Man who is heavily influenced by Iron Man, which is fine.
I mean, I think he's heavily influenced by the universe around him, period. Which was one of the things that we liked about Homecoming in the first place.
Yeah, I think Homecoming gives us what Colin is kind of saying we didn't get. It is tied to, I'm waiting by the phone for Tony to call me, and I'm talking to Happy and blah, blah, blah. But also that feels like the story of I'm trying to come into my own as a hero.
Yeah.
And I'm being a friendly neighborhood Spider-Man. So I loved Homecoming for that. It's also just, it feels like a side effect of when we were able to get Spider-Man in the MCU, we were already on Civil War. And Civil War is a story that in the comics, Peter is heavily tied to Tony.
Yeah.
Because he brings him in. Like, yo, Peter, you broke? I got you. Come join my side. I'm gonna give you a new suit. Like all the stuff that we kind of get in the MCU happened in the Civil War comic. And it just sucks that Spider-Man didn't get into the MCU until we were adapting the Civil War comic.
Yeah, and part of the contract was that, or at least rumor is that part of that contract was Sony wanted an Avenger hero for every one of these Spider-Man movies.
Okay.
Oh.
I see why they would do that. They've been trying to do Spider-Man without the rest of them. They've worked here and there, but a lot of people say the Andrew Garfield ones didn't really work. Tobey Maguire, those movies came out in a different time. There was no MCU when those movies were being made.
Yeah.
So yeah, they're like, we're in the MCU now. We're trying to do Spider-Man. We're gonna give you Spider-Man. Give us an Avenger too. If you watch the Spider-Man cartoon, it's a bunch of Avengers running around in there. Blade is in that show.
I want that. Where's our when Blade comes out? I want to see.
If we don't get something with Blade and Morbius, what's the point? Like this dude hunts vampires.
But anyway, the No Way Home trailer though, it's a lot of nostalgia. I was talking to somebody who thinks that they're going to release a third trailer. I hope that they don't.
Don't at this point.
Don't show us anything
The
else.
movie's almost here. Just put the movie out.
I'm like, you'll give us TV spots for the next month all the way through the movie coming out. That's fine.
I just don't get why they're pushing a Spider-Man movie so hard. It's a Spider. People are going to see it. You don't need to put out this much about it. You say there's a Spider-Man movie out.
You could have just put the rumors out. Hey, we got Tobey and we got Andrew. And everybody would be like, I would like to see that.
Well, it's also just in general, you say Spider-Man movie, people are going to go, oh, I should take my kids to go see the new Spider-Man movie because it's Spider-Man.
Yeah, the movie kind of markets itself, but, that's not how marketing is
Works.
done. They go and market a lot.
And as we said last time when we were talking about Spider-Man marketing, which is last episode, I believe.
I think so.
Oh, boy.
We said that it doesn't matter what you show us. We're going to see this movie anyway. And for me in Dallas, at least, probably just be just as excited about the fact that this movie is happening anyway.
Yeah.
Gonna have a good time. The only way you could get me to not see this movie is somehow you told me that Woody Allen actually directed this movie and not John Watts.
Surprise. We got an old creep to do it. All right.
Yo, like I said, I'm hyped, bro. Let's go. This is gonna be kind of insane. We'll see how they balance everything.
I'm ready for it. Give me Miles.
Possibility.
Right. Let's add some color.
Possible.
Let's talk about something that did not add some color. Nightmare Alley is it looks cool, I guess. The first trailer.
I no longer know what this movie's about.
Right. The first trailer made me so much
I don't remember the first trailer.
Excited. It was Willem Dafoe being a carnival barker.
Oh.
Is he a man or is he a beast?
Dafoe.
Right?
Oh.
We got a man or we got a beast. I don't know. Come to the circus.
Yeah, it was the circus
It's
trailer.
spooky. Find out what's here. Look at all these white people in the cast list. And this one is like Bradley Cooper is a medium, but some people don't believe he's a medium because, he's a medium.
Yeah, it sounds like
that
he
comes
hasn't
with
been
some suspicion.
And he's in a building and trying to escape the building.
It looks like a different
I think
movie.
we saw the circus very briefly.
Very briefly.
There were shots. There was like a shot of a big top.
Okay.
Yeah, we saw it. It was
Got
just
it.
barely there. Kate Blanchett is domineering this man.
Domineering. Like a big top.
It's like the problem. I'm interested in this movie, but God, if I didn't know that Del Toro directed it, I'd be like, Greta Gerwig, what are you doing? Like, it's just Guillermo, please.
Are you guys gonna see it? Well, I know the answer for Colin. Dallas, are you gonna see it
I mean, I probably will.
when it's? Yeah, but you're not gonna see it in
You're gonna
theaters.
see it in like.
That's not what you asked.
That's true.
I'm sorry. I meant,
You're
are you
eventually
gonna
gonna
see
watch
it for reviewing?
He's
Probably not.
We were talking off mic. Colin, I think the last movie Colin saw in theaters was Onward.
No, it wasn't. I went to
wasn't.
see In the Heights with him.
No, you
Yes,
didn't.
I did. We went to see it in IMAX.
No, we didn't.
Yes, we did.
No, we definitely
Yes,
did
we
not.
did. You were
No,
sitting
we
right next to me. I gave you my ticket.
Where were you? Where'd
Did
you
we
see
do
it?
that? Wait.
In the Heights? Yes. When it first came out.
I swear we did not do that.
We did. We went to see it in IMAX.
No, I
Yes,
don't. I did
we
not
did.
do this.
Where did you see it?
Santa Anita.
No.
You're going to trust the man who doesn't have a memory?
I didn't do this.
Yes, you did.
I've watched it. I've watched the movie like twice, but I watched it
We saw
on
it
HBO Max.
in
No,
IMAX.
this didn't happen.
Yes, it
This is
did.
so funny.
I don't know.
Yes,
This didn't
we
happen.
did.
This didn't. No,
Bro,
no,
we
it did.
did.
I can't. No,
I can pull up my tickets right now.
Is
You
his name on it,
went
though?
with someone
Like-
else.
No,
Like,
I
don't-
went with you, dude.
no,
Who
this
else
is-
would I go with?
I don't know.
I went with you and had a whole
This is
text
so funny to me.
conversation
No,
about it.
I can't. What?
Yes.
No.
You did, bruh.
No.
Yeah,
I didn't.
you did.
You just blacked out at a whole theater experience.
I think I did.
That's so funny to me. Nightmare Alley, though.
We're dying.
The cast is. This is a really cool group of white people. I like Del Toro. I don't love him as much as y'all do.
Who's y'all? I mean, I really love
Gabby's not here. I'm speaking to the ghost of Gabby.
Oh, okay.
And Colin.
Rip.
I mean, I do love Del Toro. I think Del Toro is great. I can't watch a lot of his movies because he likes the horror stuff. So
Right. And he's one of those.
I mean, you can watch any of the recent, like, 5 or whatever, how many he's made recently.
Yo, Pacific Rim is my ish though.
Right, yeah, Pacific Rim. You can watch the fish porn movie that he made.
Yeah, you
still
can
haven't
watch
watched
that
that
one.
one.
You could watch Pan's Labyrinth.
I don't do Pan's Labyrinth.
It's
know about
not. I wouldn't call it a horror.
I've
It's
seen
got-
the creatures.
No,
I don't want to do
I wouldn't
it.
say because it's scary. It's just really disturbing.
Oh, sure.
Like, even the human violence in that is a lot.
That's the whole mouth thing.
Yeah, that's too much.
I should watch that movie again.
But you're an interesting boy. But yeah, he's one of those dudes that I respect his creativity on an immense level, but I just don't ever really love his movies. I like them sometimes.
I'm
So, I don't
kind
know.
of there
I might
with
skip
you, to be honest. Like, Pacific Rim.
Yo, wait, hold on,
Bucks.
real quick.
What you got?
Guess who just found the text receipts that say that he went with me to go see In the
Ooh.
Heights?
I didn't do
Ooh,
this.
boy.
You were texting somebody else.
Lying?
I don't remember this at all.
Found the receipts on my computer.
It didn't.
Oh my god. That's how did you just
I
forgot
don't-
an entire
I
theater
completely
experience.
forgot it.
That's
Yeah.
wild.
This-
Because that was
I don't
before we
remember.
started having like it was when we were kind of coasting and the numbers weren't as high. It was
Mm.
before everything went to shit again.
Interesting.
And Colin was like, yeah, I'll go. And that was the last time he went to a movie theater.
Now I feel extra disrespected for all the times I've tried to get Colin to watch a movie with me.
Well, if it's any consolation, as far as I'm concerned, it didn't happen. So
But it
Sure.
did. So
Nightmare Alley. I kind of care. I kind of don't. I don't know if y'all gonna get me out the house for this one, but if I have friends or somebody who's like, let's go check out Nightmare Alley, I might do it.
I feel like you could find a few friends who would be like, yeah, let's do it.
Yeah, I work across the street from a movie theater. So. 2 movie theaters,
damn,
right?
That's
Glendale
where we're
is
at.
popping.
wild.
What's next up?
Turning Red. This one is for Colin.
New Pixar movie.
It is Pixar, isn't it?
It is.
Yeah. They're like, yo, let's do Incredible Hulk, but make it yiffy. On to you, Colin.
Well, that's a way
I
of describing it.
I mean, no.
No?
No, because I feel like,
Except it's not anger, it's anxiety.
and it's also not a separate being. The Hulk is a separate, but he can talk to the Hulk
Mhm.
and be like, yo, what's up? Why you
Mhm.
being a bitch?
right.
This is just her. So I wouldn't call it Incredible Hulk, but Giphy, because I don't think it shares a lot of DNA with Incredible Hulk.
So werewolf, but a panda?
Oh, werewolf, you kind of lose all semblance of who you are. Depending
So
on
depending on
the
the-
media.
Yeah.
Depending.
Anyway,
Yeah, but then also that depends on the Hulk that you're talking about as well. But my point was the feelings and emotion turn you into this big beast. But now it's Yiffy because she's an animal, not a green giant. Tell
Yeah.
us why you love this trailer so much, Colin.
True that.
I don't know. This movie just looks fun as shit. I think what sold me on it was it already looked cute, but I think this trailer, knowing that, because I thought the whole thing was going to be she has to hide this from everybody, and she doesn't have to hide it from her parents, and I like that a lot. Because that just
Yeah.
gets really tiring
Yeah.
when it's like, oh, I'm a kid with a secret, and parents can't know, and I got to constantly dodge around it. Like, I like that, no, this doesn't do that. So I'm interested to see what it does do, and like, what her turning into a giant red panda, how that relates to her like how they're gonna make that, part of a deeper story about her. I'm interested.
Yeah. Demi, did you have thoughts on Turning Red?
It looks cute. It's a Pixar movie, so I'll probably go see it. They used It's Gonna Be Me by NSYNC. Bonus points for that. Also, more bonus points for having Jordan Fisher in the movie playing a boy band member. I'm definitely excited for that. And he's singing music written by Phineas and Billie Eilish, and definitely down for that. Phineas is also
interesting.
one of the boy band members.
That's
I mean-
interesting.
Phineas and Billie are such great pop writers. Phineas wrote and produced one of my favorite songs on Camila Cabello's last album. So yeah, I'm excited for what music they do. Yeah, I'll see it because it's a Pixar movie. There you go. Looks cute.
Yeah, it looks cute. I don't really care beyond that.
Fun for the whole family.
Fun for the whole family. Insert joke about Gabby and
What?
Yiffiness, blah,
Oh.
blah, blah, blah. She's not here. Moving
Also,
on.
I am appreciative of the representation, though. I think this is like their first Asian lead character or something like that.
For Disney Pixar, it might be.
I think it is for Pixar.
I think I get confused because
Disney,
there are certain Disney
Pixar.
movies that aren't Pixar, and then there are. So
Oh,
I'm like, wait,
yeah.
have we done this? No, Pixar has not done this. Like Disney hasn't done it with Pixar, but they've done it with Disney.
I don't think Pixar has done
Sure.
it. They've had Cars as main characters. They've had toys as main characters, but never Asian people.
Ooh, when you say it like that.
They've given the Toys 4 movies and the Cars 3 movies. Asians are still at 0.
Well, now they're at 1. So
Until
no.
now.
I mean, we didn't get a black one until what, last year? This year?
yeah,
Last year.
Last year.
Oh man, Pixar.
They even have mythological characters as main characters,
What are y'all doing over there? What are y'all doing?
making us question our existential being.
Let's talk about Pam and Tommy.
Pam and Tommy. Never in my life would I ever have anticipated being this excited about a show about Pamela Anderson and Tommy Lee, because I know next to nothing about both of them except for the fact that they had a scandal when we were children, and that she was on Baywatch.
Yes, she was.
That's about it. That's about all I know. I'm super stoked though. I love the way that they edited this trailer together. I love that it's fast forward.
Right.
Fast forward. Like the way that they framed it as if you're watching like a videotape and like you're just going through the story through being fast forwarded, and he's introducing, who's that? Oh, it's Tommy Lee.
Right.
Oh, is that Pamela Anderson? Like, I love the way that they're introducing the characters and the subject matter.
That was a creative way to do the trailer. I liked it.
And I thought it was very thematical, seeing as the show is about the leaking of their sex tape. Everybody knows on this podcast I'm the biggest Lily James fan.
That's true.
And she is almost unrecognizable in this trailer as Pamela Anderson.
That's also true.
Hair and makeup coming for that Emmy.
Right there. They're doing stuff over there.
Sebastian Stan looks amazing in this as well. And I'm looking forward to their performances. They're both such amazing actors. I feel like Lily's the one who's really putting on the transformation for the show here. More than just makeup and hair. It's also the physicality as well as the voice.
Yeah, honestly, I don't think it's her.
Yeah.
It's not her. I don't believe it.
You don't believe it?
No, they just got another white woman. It was
looks more like Pamela Anderson.
We're going to say it's Lily James because it would be too hard to turn her into this woman.
Yeah, I'm excited. I'm glad it's coming out early February. I knew it was supposed to come out somewhere February, March or something like that, but I'm glad it's coming out earlier than I actually anticipated.
It's going to be a Valentine's Day show.
I'm not dating anybody, so like, yeah, I guess so. And then there's Seth Rogen, who is a producer on the show, as well as starring in it. Nick Offerman is also in it. They look like they're going to be great. It's directed by Craig Gillespie, who did I, Tonya and Cruella, and I talked in depth about the things that I love about his directing with projects like this. A lot of people are worried that it's going to be exploitative, but because of the things that I've seen from him, I'm highly doubtful it'll be exploitative. I'm pretty sure that he'll probably do something where it's actually got a message and it's actually trying to say something about that situation in general, and not just about them, but about society as a whole and the way that we treat celebrities and privacy. I'm fascinated and I'm interested to see what he does. Look forward to that being on my top 10 favorite TV shows list next year.
Yeah, I feel like it's a good time for that because every time we look up, someone's in the news for some version of their privacy being invaded. Yeah. Because they're famous. Oh, we got your pictures. We got your video. We climbed in your house. But yeah, it's just...
I mean, this man literally went into their house and stole their sex tape, so...
Boom, see? Stuff like that. Obviously, it was a huge deal back then. It's a huge deal now, but now it happens so much more. Right. It's going to be an interesting look at how grimy y'all are.
And I guess society's acceptance, like in just embracing that sex tape, like legitimately, like, let's go out and buy this sex tape and watch it, despite the fact that somebody probably invaded these two people's privacy, like probably is what has led to the leakage of other celebrity sex tapes and the invasion of their privacy.
Yeah.
It's one thing if you want to release it yourself. It's another thing if like people are out there stealing your private stuff and putting them out there, like all the people who have like hacked into like celebrity phones and like released their nudes and stuff like that.
That was crazy that time that it happened to like a bunch of people at the same time.
Yes, I remember that. I think
insane.
Scarlett Johansson was in that one.
Was she?
I think she was one of the people that got hacked. I think Jennifer Lawrence was one of the people that got hacked.
I know she was. Never mind. I'm gonna say something off mic that I would not dare say on mic. It's about Gabby.
Okay.
Remember that.
But yeah, Pam and Tommy, I'm super looking forward to this show. I've been looking forward to it since they got cast because I thought it was ridiculous that of all the people in the world, they cast Sebastian Stan and Lily James. And now I see the show and I'm just like, wow, Craig had the vision, didn't he?
Kevin Feige confirms a new MCU project is in development with Scarlett Johansson.
Speaking of Scarlett Johansson.
Yeah.
Better conversation. What?
For you, not for Dallas.
For her, it's probably better too.
Oh, definitely for her.
She's not going to listen to this.
I hope not.
I hope she's Scarlett. We love you. Critically acclaimed. All right.
That was beautiful.
Thank you. Tell us about the news.
So Scarlett received an award the other day, and that was when Kevin Feige announced that they are apparently working on a Marvel project together with her as a producer. Not starring in it, obviously, because she got yeeted off a cliff. The second woman to get yeeted off that cliff. That cliff needs a reputation. But I'm excited because Scarlett's going to be producing more Marvel movies. I'm sad because it's not going to be Black Widow related. Obviously, like her character, Black Widow. But it'll be interesting to see what they're bringing her in to produce. Some people think it could be an like an A-Force type of movie. For those who don't know what the A-Force is, it is just the all-women team of Avengers. Some people are assuming that because Scarlett has been sort of campaigning for more women to be in the MCU ever since she got into the MCU. So some people think that she could be producing that. I think it would be cool if they're gonna continue. I know that they're not, because they said it's not related to the Black Widow character. But if they were going to.
Oh, so you think it won't be Yelena?
I didn't want Yelena to have a solo movie, but if you are gonna do it, I would want Scarlett Johansson to be the producer on it, because she's the one who brought Yelena into the fold.
Have they said if she's making a movie or a show?
No, they
just said a project.
I think they just said a project. Who knows? It could be anything. Good for her. Killed your character and still working with the company. Anyway.
Yeah. Get your money.
Not just that. They killed your character. You
sued them.
Yes, you sued them, and
you sued their parent company.
Right, and the parent company wasn't nice about it, and yet.
I mean, she's still working with the parent company, so.
Yeah, wild.
Yeah, man, it's business out here. But yeah, congrats to her on her award as well.
Yeah.
And her son, who was born recently. So.
Oh, snap. Congrats. Good job pushing out that baby. I've heard it's difficult.
That's fair. What's our next piece of news?
Speaking of Marvel, but this time, black people. Delroy Lindo was in Blade.
Yes, bro.
I'm so excited. I didn't even know I could be this excited about something Marvel related anymore.
Outside of Black Panther?
Wakanda forever. Or Wakanda eventually, as it's now called. Delroy. Man, this man is so amazing.
We've talked about him a couple of times on this podcast.
Yeah. You guys, if you know me, you know that The Harder They Fall is just the thing that I can't stop talking about.
Also, I'm still upset that he didn't get an Oscar nom for The Five Bloods. I thought he had that locked in. He was so good in that movie.
It was so good.
It's ridiculous how good he was.
Disrespect.
The disrespect.
He is going to be in Blade, and I need to look up the character that people think he is playing.
They think he's playing Whistler.
Right.
Who is based on a different character from the comics.
Is Whistler the white dude who hangs out with Blade in the movies?
I don't know. I haven't seen those movies.
Yes, it is.
Oh, okay, cool.
Abraham Whistler.
You haven't seen those movies?
I have not yet.
They're interesting.
All right, so here's the thing about Hollywood and whitewashing. Abraham Whistler is a character from the Blade movies, and he's based on a character named Jamal Afari, who was Blade's mentor in the comics. If you can't tell by the name Jamal Afari, he's black.
Ooh. So when they made those
New Line
movies...
Cinema, word on the street is they wanted Blade to be white too.
That's no.
Yeah, so
no.
This is according to, internet sources.
He's ours.
Yeah, so they thought, oh, yeah, we'll make a Blade movie, but let's make Blade and Jamal white.
Mm-hmm.
And they were like, best I can do is Jamal. So, in an act of defiance, got the blackest man of all time, Wesley Snipes, to play Blade. But Jamal became Whistler, Abraham Whistler, a white man.
Yeah.
So a lot of people think that they're going to
undo that.
Yeah, make him Jamal Afari, which I think would be dope. I think Delroy would be an amazing.
Well, I mean, if they're adapting the comics and not the other Blade movies, then yeah, they would.
I mean, the MCU typically adapts the comics and not other movies, so.
Right. But then Whistler has appeared in other media as well. Like, he was in the cartoon show. It's the whole thing.
Pulled a Harley Quinn.
Yeah. Well, kind of. Harley started in the show. It's the whole thing.
Well, I mean, like, started in a particular
right, and
medium,
then became
and then
more
showed up in the comics.
Yeah. But forget all that. Delroy Lindo's amazing. Mahershala Ali is amazing.
Oh, I can't wait.
Blade's gonna be amazing.
We've already got somewhat of our first taste of him.
Yep. You sure you're ready for that, Mr. Whitman? That was my favorite part of Eternal. I was like, is that Blade?
Yeah, Chloe Zhao was also very excited that it was Blade, so.
She went and told everybody, I got Blade, guys. In case you didn't know, let me tell you, I got Blade.
First weekend it came out.
I would do the same thing. I'm like, nah, I want y'all to know, this is Blade. We got Blade in my end credit scene.
She was like, this is one of my favorite heroes. I got him in my end credit scene.
But
she went for it.
I'm hyped. I think this movie's going to be fantastic.
I mean, they got two very fantastic actors already. Like, it feels like when Black Panther started getting cast and like we just started seeing like this onslaught of like really amazing black actors get cast, and it was just like, ooh, this feels good. Oh, it feels good, man.
It feels so good.
Got a few more years until we actually get a Blade movie.
Right, is Blade 20... Do they have a release date at
2023, I think.
Okay.
If at all.
Not as bad as I thought it was going to be.
Yeah. Don't say if at all, Colin.
Well, I mean, in terms of having one, not that it's not going to come out.
Okay, don't put that evil on me, Ricky Bobby.
Dope. Last piece of news?
Yes. I'm going to pass it to you because I don't know what a lot of this stuff is.
Oh, that's right. That's right. I forgot what the last piece of news was, but now I'm very excited to remember that Natasha Bordizzo has been cast as Sabine Wren in Disney Plus's Ahsoka series. Let's go!
That felt like the opening sentence to like a 10-book long fantasy epic. I know what
It's
all
Star
of it
Wars,
meant,
so yes.
Yeah.
but like that felt like, why call a shoe a shoe?
Sabine Wren is a fairly normal name for the Star Wars universe.
There are no normal
It's
names
the
in the
Star
Star
Wars
Wars universe
universe.
except for the main
Her
characters.
last name is Wren, which is a normal name, and her first name is Sabine, which is also a normal name.
I've never heard either of those names.
You've never heard anybody called Sabine or Sabina?
No.
Wren? Wren was the name of the older sister in Even Stevens. Like,
Her first name is it's R-E-N Wren. I've
no,
never heard-
last name is Wren, but it's spelled W-R-E-N.
Like
Exactly.
the bird.
It's a bird.
Yeah, wrens are birds.
I learned something today.
Literally, she's got probably the most normal name in Star Wars, which is crazy to think about.
I would not say that at all.
Yeah, they got niggas named Ben and Luke.
Yeah, full name, buddy. Luke Skywalker is Skywalker.
Yeah,
is not
Skywalker's kind of where you lose me.
Dude, like, it's a normal name.
Skywalker feels like a name that you picked for yourself when you were 13.
Yeah.
I mean, his original last name was Starkiller, so
That's a gangster name.
Now that's a name you picked for yourself when you were 13.
exactly. Anyway, Sabine Wren. Sabine Wren is one of my favorite characters from Star Wars Rebels, which is my favorite Star Wars animated TV series. I'm so excited, and it's been rumored for a while that Sabine would show up because of the way that they left off Ahsoka's storyline in The Mandalorian. She was asking where Thrawn was. The end of Star Wars Rebels. Spoiler alert for anybody who has not watched Star Wars Rebels. I'm giving you the chance now to fast forward. I don't know how many seconds, but you'll need it.
Good luck.
At the end of Star Wars Rebels, the main character, Ezra and Thrawn, were locked in battle, and we saw them disappear somewhere, and we have no idea where they are.
Oh.
With the hint that Ahsoka is looking for Thrawn, that means she's probably also looking for Ezra, and one of the people who would most be searching for Ezra would be Sabine, because she's basically his best friend. Sabine is also a Mandalorian, and I'm so excited because Sabine is one of the dopest Mandalorians you'll ever find because she does graffiti art. So her Mandalorian suits are usually graffitied all over, and she puts art all over everything. She's so cool. She's so dope. First woman to handle the Darksaber. She's so cool. She's amazing. Sabine Wren is so cool. So the fact that they're bringing her into the live action is super dope, especially because she'll be alongside Ahsoka, who they have a history together on Star Wars Rebels. So I am very excited. But also Star Wars just gets me excited in general.
It does.
But this is, like I said, one of my favorite characters in Star Wars. I think she is my favorite Mandalorian. I think I would go out on a limb and say that my favorite Mandalorian is Sabine Wren. She's so cool. Now we have a live action actress to play her. As Anakin Skywalker would say, this is when the fun begins.
Very nice. Very nice reference.
And that's all we've got for you guys today.
Yes, I was looking up who this woman is. She's in The Voyeurs. It's that movie that just came out with Justice Smith.
Sorry, what was the title?
The Voyeurs.
The Voyeurs?
I think that's a
The
horror
Voyeurs.
movie, wasn't it?
It's not. It's an American erotic thriller.
That's what that sounds like, given the name.
Yeah, it's about Justice Smith and his girl watching some people. One of them is
Oh,
Sabine.
Sydney
Have sex.
Sweeney's in that movie.
Yeah, she's the girlfriend who's watching. She's the voyeur.
You know what?
She's one of the voyeurs. There's two voyeurs. The titular voyeurs.
Yeah. Good for them, though, because, like...
Colin, what is his face? It's a weird premise.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, that's the face.
No, good for them, because, like, erotic thrillers are, like, so rare nowadays. They used to be really popular, like, back in, like, the 80s, 90s, probably the 70s, I think.
Yeah, there's a really famous one with Keanu Reeves and Ana de Armas.
You know what? I wouldn't call that one very famous.
It's, like, weirdly famous. It's, like, cult classic kind of famous.
Yeah,
People
like...
know it. Yeah, I don't know if it's on anybody's, like, erotic thriller list. I don't know who has a list like that.
I mean, somebody does, but, like, Fatal Attraction is an erotic thriller, and that's the most famous.
Right, that's, like, the erotic thriller.
Exactly.
But cool. Shout out to Natasha. I don't know you, but I wish you success. Colin, you have any thoughts on Sabine?
Tracing this back, Ahsoka showed up in Mandalorian Season 2.
Yes.
I'm pretty sure that was the episode where I almost fell asleep and had to convince myself to keep watching. So I don't think I'll be watching the Ahsoka show.
Whereas that episode is literally my favorite episode of all of The Mandalorian because it is so Akira Kurosawa that it's ridiculous.
There are two types of people out there.
Dallas, do you have thoughts?
You know I don't. I don't know this actress.
I mean, I don't Rosario
I don't know
Dawson,
the
though.
characters. Oh, in the show, in like as a whole, or
I don't
just
know.
like Sabine.
Do you have thoughts on Sabine?
No, he knows nothing about this person.
I mean, I don't either, but you know, gave
No,
thoughts.
I don't have any thoughts on that. You made it to the end.
Woo!
And you made it to the end. Congratulations, and thank you for listening. And thank you to Crown Digital, Brandon and I for putting us on Spotify and Apple Podcasts. And thank you to me for editing and putting us on YouTube and repping for the fans of Star Wars and Lily James and serial killers.
Okay, I was not repping for them at all. Just Dexter. Fans of Dexter.
Well, Gabby's not here, so somebody has to rep for the serial killer.
Nope,
fan.
just Dexter.
See, the thing is, nobody has to, but Demi took up the mantle. Let me tell you.
I am only standing for Dexter. He's the only toxic man we allow in our lives.
That's not true. You stand a
I mean, you
lot
love
of
toxic
toxic characters.
Not men.
Oh, honey.
That's interesting. That might be.
Mm,
Well, we're gonna have to do a deep dive into that.
yeah.
Because how do you feel about Anakin?
I mean, I love Anakin, but that's
That
one.
nigga toxic as hell.
He is poison.
That's one out of how many?
I'm just saying, like, we can do this. We're not gonna do this right now, but
Not on the podcast,
yeah,
no, but
we're
if you want to
definitely-
do it after we're done.
I mean, that might be an interesting episode.
They are mostly women, though.
Definitely mostly women. You lean toward women. Colin.
All right. That's a way to phrase that.
Colin, thank you for repping for the fans of animal-based content because of Turning Red.
Thank you for phrasing it that way.
Yiffy
As
content.
opposed to. Okay,
Somebody had to do it.
that's true.
Fair.
In my notes, I wrote Yiffy content. I was
Yeah,
gonna give
yeah,
you a
yeah.
break, but forget that.
It's okay. I said it.
Audience, what do y'all think about King Richard? What do y'all think about Dexter?
What y'all
Serial
think about
killers?
Tick Tick Boom?
Oh yeah. What do you think about musicals? Let us know. Answer all these questions or one of them, please. Comment. We have no comments. Yeah, are you gonna see King Richard or are you anti-black like Gabby? Let us know in the comments or hit us
Dear
up
God.
on Twitter at y'all_different, Instagram and Tumblr at Creative Differences Podcast, or Facebook.com/Creative Differences PC. If you want to talk to me about how dope Will Smith is and how dope it is that he finally worked with a black director, you can hit
Yay.
me up on Twitter and or Instagram at the King named Simba.
It's like I wanna say some sort of tag. I don't have one. I don't know. You can find me on Twitter at Duck McGuck.
And you guys can find me on Twitter and Instagram at Dreamy Films. Dreamy is spelled Dreemi. Join us next week where we will be reviewing Encanto and Resident Evil Welcome to Raccoon City, where you guys will get to listen to me talk about a horror movie for the first time ever.
Yeah.
Thanks for joining us.
Thank you for joining us. And if you want to find Gabby, you can find her on Twitter at Gabby and Anti-Black.
Don't do that to her.
Gabby in and
It's been different.
Oh yes, it's been different. Bye.
Pick another one.
I didn't have another one.
Pick a different one.
It's not real.
I'm
See, I
not
feel
going to
like
do
if-
that
Let
one.
her what? What, Colin?
No, see, the thing is, I don't know how you would make that work because it would be like Gabby in white, but then she's not white, so that doesn't.
Yeah, I just had to stick with black and put anti in front of it because that's the running motif of the episode to me. Let it work.
Gabby, I tried.
Gabby, you should have tried to be here. This is on you.